Hi, my name's Phil. I like talking about politics, and in this video, I'd like to discuss the government's works outing today, where they're spending the day at Chequers in order to work on their strategy running up to the general election. I thought I'd discuss what I would imagine are some of their main strengths and weaknesses that their chief strategists may be considering. But first, if you'd like to be notified of daily news and politics, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification icon. So the first thing I'm going to say is that it is a little bit of a cheek. The cabinet all trotting off to Chequers in order to have a party political strategy meeting on our time. Parliament's in session. Thursday is a day when the House of Commons would normally be dealing with government business. The government can't claim they haven't really got much to do because they keep saying there's lots they're doing. The country's in crisis. Should they really be doing this in our time? Why not at the weekend, or why not when Parliament is in recess? But no, behaving in their usual self-indulgent way again, prioritising what they want to do over what is supposed to be their duty. But that out of the way, what might their election strategist Isaac Levidow, the man who masterminded their 2019 campaign success, despite what Dominic Cummings may think, what are they going to consider the main strengths and weaknesses? Well, if it were me, I think I'd be pointing out that two of the members present are huge weaknesses straight away. Nadhim Zahawi and Dominic Raab. Now, it seems fairly clear that both are going to get the chop. It's just a ridiculous farce at the moment. They're both gone. It's only causing more damage to string the process along. Nadhim Zahawi first. Now, in some ways, less of a public outrage that he remains in post, I suppose, because he's not in charge of a government department, which means he's not in theory in charge of a budget of public money. He's the Tory party chair. Now, if the Tories want a tax dodger and expenses fiddler in charge of the party political matters, well, surely that's a private matter for them. Yes. However, he also sits in cabinet, albeit not in charge of a department. That means he is taking part in the decision-making process for both policies and public spending. There will be a reason he's refusing to resign, and it's not because he thinks he's helping either his party or the country. He has a long history of helping himself. But he is a huge weakness for the Conservatives and Rishi Sunak in particular in two different ways. The first is that Sunak's claims to be governing with integrity are taking another knock. He should have sacked Zahawi if he would not go. He would then actually have looked like a strong leader, even though there would still be questions about why he appointed him in the first place. Sunak's trying to claim, there's new information come up. But as I've said in previous videos, all the new information that we've had in the last week has been known by Sunak months ago. But the second is arguably a bigger problem. See, as Tory party chair, Zahawi will be coordinating the local election campaign this May. Only he won't, will he? Because he won't be the Tory party chair at the time. In theory, Sunak could just sack him from the cabinet but keep him on as Tory party chair, but I don't think Zahawi will go along with that. So realistically, they are going to have a new Tory party chair for the local elections. Zahawi will have walked the plank long before then, so they're going to need someone else in the role. That someone else is going to have to manage the local elections. The local elections are crucial to Sunak. His detractors are going to claim that he's messed up no matter what the results are. But that doesn't mean to say there isn't a lot to play for. If he can convince reasonably neutral Tory MPs that there are signs of hope in the results, it'll do his position a lot of good. There's a risk that Johnson's posse move against Sunak after the local elections, although autumn may be more likely, depending on what happens in the next couple of months. Sunak needs a strong showing this May, and changing your election campaign manager shortly before them is not exactly a strategically sound move. Then there's Dominic Raab. He's been investigated for bullying. Now, this investigation really is independent, by the way, so there's no sensible way they'll be able to hide the results. There have been so many serious complaints against him that you cannot imagine there's any chance he gets away with this. And I'll tell you something else. When the investigation's all over as well, we'll probably get to find a few details, leaks about, what he's been up to. And Sunak, that he'll not be able to claim new information with Raab, for whom it's been known for a long time about his bullying behaviour. Sunak intends to hide behind his due process argument, but there is no due process. There is due process with disciplinary matters for most jobs, of course, but not ministers. The Prime Minister can chop and change them as they please. No legal recourse for those affected. A sacked minister, like if they tried to take the Prime Minister to court over their dismissal, which couldn't happen, no court would hear it, but if it did, Sunak could just go there, say to the judge, I didn't like the way they ate their cheese sandwiches, so I sacked them. And the judge would just say, fair enough, case dismissed. You know, in terms of general strategy, the only serious play that the Tories have is their usual economic dodge. You know, after presiding over more years of economic stagnation that has run through every single year of Tory government, plus now a recession on top, Sunak is going to aim to show that, oh yeah, those other Tories messed it up, but I've sorted it out, you see. I've delivered. But you won't actually see the delivery, of course, until after the election. So can you please vote for us one more time? I know Boris Johnson said that time, but he was an arse. I'm not. You know, their main arguments are going to be growth and inflation. They're going to make a huge thing of halving inflation this year, as if it's down to their good work. And that actually might fool a lot of people. This could be a strength, as it happens. The fact that they presided over such high inflation means that they can look good when they bring it down. But they're not going to it's just going to halve anyway. Inflation should halve this year anyway, even without any government policies in place to address it. And as it happens, there are no government policies in place to address it. I'm not even kidding. Hunt's budget announced nothing that was designed to calm inflation down. Our inflation is going to halve because the pressure on particularly fuels is easing. But our inflation will still be higher than similar economies, and our GDP will still lag behind as well. But strategically, they can make that work. The plan will be to do, as they always do, to say, right, yeah, the economy may not have boomed as we promised in the last election, although this time they've got a stronger case because they can say, well, COVID and war in Ukraine, I mean, we couldn't help that. And they can also say, it's not great, but it could be worse. And if you let Labour in, it will be worse. That has been their argument since 2015. Things are shit with us, but they'll be even worse with Labour. Then there's growth. There's a chance that we haven't actually entered recession yet, technically. Economists are saying, it feels like recession. It basically is recession. But technically, you have to have 2 consecutive quarters of contraction for it to be recession. And we're still waiting on Q4 from last year. If we dodged it in the last quarter, and there are suggestions that maybe we had, then that means the recession isn't going to be announced until summer. And then if we're back into growth by the end of the year, actually, it looks like we didn't have a very long recession at all. Sunak and Hunt can claim that, we were predicted this long recession. We worked really hard. We've reduced the inflation and we've got our economy growing again. We've steered it through tough times, which wasn't our fault, of course, not our fault. And if voters stick with us, they'll see the good times rolling very soon. Before the election? No, not before the election. No, about a year after the election. Then they go to the polls in 2024. And even if they still lose, potentially they could use this argument to at least massively limit the damage. But they will be hoping that the con works one more time and gives them at least a slender majority. The other downside, the other fiddles they're playing, should we say. So we know asylum and levelling up are 2 of the things they're shouting a lot about. The problem with those is they are targeted at a relatively small number of important voters, but in limited areas. It doesn't work across the country. So it won't be part of their main election platform because it's not something that's that important in most of the seats they'll be seriously contesting. But in order for what I think will be their main overall strategy to work, which will have to be this inflation and growth, they also need stability within the Tory party itself. Sunak has a number of major skirmishes on the horizon, if not all-out battles, with Johnson loyalists as well as potentially other detractors. And I'm going to talk about some of them in more detail in other videos. But let's look at a bit of a list. So first is going to be the Privileges Committee inquiry into Johnson's Partygate lies. You may think, well, this could be a good thing for Sunak, get Johnson out of the way. Yes, but it could also do an awful lot of damage for Sunak, and I'll be talking about that possibly tomorrow in a separate video. Second, Sunak wants the Northern Ireland Protocol deal. He seems willing to pull some fairly stupid stunts to get what he wants, but he needs to bargain with the ERG to get this. This is another source of strife for him. Third, he'll need to get his budget voted in the spring. Now, that shouldn't sound like too tough an ask, but expect rebels to use it in an attempt to extract concessions elsewhere. Sunak's in danger here because a government that cannot pass a budget cannot govern. Now, you should say that's always going to be a risk, but there is quite a lot in the budget, this particular budget, that Tory MPs could vote against and claim they're standing up for conservative principles. There's a lot in the budget that they do not consider very conservative. So this will be a major battle for him. Fourth are the inquiries into Zahawi and Raab whenever they're concluded, as I've discussed. Sacking them has the potential to destabilise his fragile coalition, especially with Raab. You know, Boris Johnson tried to sack Raab after the fall of Kabul, but all he could do in the end was demote him because Raab kicked very hard, and he's very likely to kick with Sunak as well. Fifth would be the local elections, of course. Sixth would be the fallout from however the public sector industrial action ends. You know, NHS workers in particular, where they're concerned, there is real trouble ahead for Sunak, who's trying to use the workers in a divide and rule strategy, but he risks dividing his government from the voters who are also the workers. And all of this just in the first half of the year. If he makes it to summer, he will then get some respite. But then on Parliament's return, there'll be several more flashpoints. First will be the Tory party conference. If the polls are still looking very unhealthy, Sunak may be getting a frosty reception from the party faithful, or at least the ones who are awake, especially if Boris Johnson is still an MP at this point. Then there'll be the end of October. Sunak will have been Prime Minister for a full year. The party rules will allow a confidence vote if just 15% of Tory MPs request one. Unlike now, where the 1922 committee won't even consider it unless a clear majority expressed an interest. And then, of course, there's the little matter of the retained EU law bill, which, if it goes as the ERG want it to go at the moment, and remember, he needs the ERG on side to get his Northern Ireland Protocol deal, will mean massive deregulation at the end of this year. That will cause some strife next year. So he needs to try and dodge that, really. And that's without considering the many other things that can go wrong in 2023, which I'm not particularly thinking about right now. Like the biometric checks, maybe they come online. They've been delayed so long. Maybe they'll come online for third country citizens entering the Schengen area. That'll be interesting. There's a few other things that could happen as well as things I've got no idea about. In fact, a lot of major battles for Sunak and his government coming up, arguably one a month. You know, maybe it'd be just easier for his strategists to say, do you know what, you're all screwed. 13 years of the most reckless excess has a price, but you're all very wealthy, so I'm sure you'll be able to console yourself as you lose your seats by hugging your sacks of cash. They could probably further console themselves that if they pulled the sort of financial scams they've been pulling in a business, they would be heading to prison, not their mansions, once they're finally dismissed from their posts. But there we are. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Hope you found the video interesting. If you did, please click the like button. And if you'd like to support the channel further, the join button for memberships. And until next time, I'll see you later.